Welcome to my latest Zoomcast. John Abendroth here, PGA golf professional, and joined by a good friend, Pat Murphy, Bay Area, very notable golf person. And you can tell by the background there, that's not a fake background. That's actually Pat's office. Pat, thanks so much for a little bit of time today.
Yeah, thank you, John.
Well, let me get the business part out of the way here for a moment. I could say Shamrock Produce, but that doesn't exist anymore, right? You sold,
No, that's gone.
sold
Gone.
your
It was
company.
a great run.
Yeah,
A
good for
great
you.
run. Yeah.
We're sponsored today by Original Joe's of Westlake and the new Little Original Joe's in West Portal, and by Baggy's Liquors since 1958 in Burlingame. And as I like to say, eat and drink responsibly. So there's the business side of things. So Pat, there's a story that we want to tell here, but I need to kind of give the proper introduction. You and your father and your two brothers have served on the Olympic Club board of directors over many, many years. Your dad was a big part of the Olympic Club, and you yourself and your brothers have been as well. You're in the University of San Francisco Sports Hall of Fame for golf.
Yes.
You had a great run there with a number of others that San Francisco native. You know, you weren't recruited from Arkansas or somewhere, but homegrown. I got to throw this part in. You were a very early supporter of our Hook on Golf Foundation, which is still, where I think we're just about to hit 20 years, believe it or not, and still helping a lot of the smaller junior programs and high school programs. So I've always appreciated your help there. You've been in a leadership role with several USGA championships, going so far back as 1966. Was it the playoff where you carried the score sign and we were able to recover that photo from one of the programs?
It was a Monday playoff, Palmer Casper. And what was great in the 2012 Open, because I had clubhouse access because I was, part of my volunteer duties was the players' locker room and player hospitality and stuff. And Billy Casper was there, of course, along with Jack Fleck, by the way. And so I got to talk to Billy Casper a little bit. What a kind person. And in the program for 2012, they had the picture you're talking about. And one day it was just me and Billy Casper in the player hospitality area. So I get the program and I started by calling him Mr. Casper. And he said, no, my name's Billy. So I said, Billy, take a look at this. And it's Palmer and Casper walking off the green Monday afternoon. Casper had his arm around Palmer. And in the background, I'm there holding the scoring sign. I said to Billy, this is me. He says, you're kidding me.
Wow.
I said, no. So he says, here, give me the program. I said, no, you can't sign it, Billy, because the USGA has just drilled it into you. You're in a spot of privilege kind of, and you can't bother the players. You can't ask for any autographs or anything. He says, Patrick, give me that.
Yeah.
So he signs it to Pat. Thanks for the help on Monday, Billy
Nice.
Casper. So that was fun.
Nice. So how long have you played golf?
Over 60 years.
60 years.
60 years plus.
Yeah, and when you told me this, I did a little math, and I could be off on this, so just, this isn't scientific, but I'm figuring about 8,000 rounds of golf.
Probably.
Would you argue that?
Yeah.
Or more?
Or more, right.
That's 137,000 holes played. And 38,000 par 3 holes.
That's a lot.
Had we done this visit 2 weeks ago, and I asked you the question, Pat, so 60 of golf, how many hole-in-ones have you had if we'd done this 2 weeks ago?
The answer would be 0.
Okay.
0.
Let's fast forward to today. And what's the answer to that question today?
Well, today the answer is 2.
Wow. So 2 hole-in-ones in a 1 week span.
In a 14-day span, February 4th to and then February 18th, both on the Cliffs course, it is a 9-hole par 3 course, but I don't care. I'm counting them. I've had, of course, many eagles and holed out from fairways on par 4s, but this was the first time from a teeing ground I knocked it in the hole, so I'm counting them.
And one was a 9-iron and one was a 6-iron, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, and for people that haven't played it, and I'll just tell a quick story. I'm not going to name the player, but he won a U.S. amateur at the Olympic Club, not Nathaniel Crosby, by the way. And I see him one day at the Olympic Club, and he's got 2 wedges and a putter under his arm, and I said, "Oh, hey, remember me? I, involved with the U.S. amateur with you." And I said, "What are you up to?" He goes, "I'm going to go play the pitch and putt course." And I said, "Well, you better go get some more clubs because the first hole is about 185 and the second hole is about 160. So he went and got some more clubs before he played the Cliffs course. But I've Art Rosenbaum, the old golf writer, told me when he and I talked about hole-in-ones one day. He goes, "There's always a story behind it," and I think that's a great story with you making 2 within 14 days. That's just incredible.
You know what happened to me, John? It was about 1964 or 65, playing golf for St. Ignatius High School, and got to the 8th hole at Lincoln Park. And I forget it, 8 or 7 iron or something. It's that downhill hole that goes back to the parking lot.
Sure.
Is it
Number 8?
Yeah. So and I hit a shot right at the hole, and the flagstick was kind of a piece of PVC pipe, and it was a red rag hanging from it as the flag.
I remember those pipes. They were metal pipes, not plastic.
Metal pipes, and this kind of this almost like a mechanic's rag hanging from the thing. So my ball hits the cloth part and gets caught in it, and we're all on the tee. And after about 1 second or 2 seconds, the ball drops straight down the pipe into the hole and disappears. And we all jump up and down, and it popped back out.
Wow.
So all these years not getting a hole-in-one, I thought I was hexed at the 8th hole at Lincoln Park, and that was going to be it.
Did you ever participate in the hole-in-one contest there?
Yeah, we used to have fun. We used to drive over there and do that. As I recall, it was pretty difficult because the hole would be located kind of towards the front of the green, and they'd water the front.
Yeah.
So if you flew it at the hole, it'd be gone. But if you landed it short, it'd kind of plug. They made it pretty difficult. But those were fun days.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember I must have been like, I don't know, 12, 13 years old when that was happening. And I think I hit the green and within 20 feet one year. And I think I won 3 days of 1-hour boat rentals for fishing at Lake Merced. So,
and that's why you're hooked on fishing now.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Well, that's really cool. And this has now been another week or so. Any other close calls, or are you just kind of giving your clubs a rest at this point?
No, I've like I said, I told the guys when I came in Saturday, somebody asked, "Did you get another hole-in-one?" I said, "No, I didn't, but on number 10 of the Ocean course, it's about, the tees we played is about 150-yard shot. I hit it 6 or 7 feet and made it for a birdie." So I said, actually on 10, I just missed by 1 stroke of making a hole-in-one.
Well, you're absolutely on fire right now. So
a lot of fun.
If you're a betting guy, I don't know, maybe bet on a horse or or go to Reno or something. So well, listen, congratulations. I think that's so awesome, and I love hole-in-one stories, and they're very unique, and I think to have the patience to stick it out for 60 years and pay the hole-in-one insurance, and so that's fun stuff.
And I hope Mitch is going to be watching this podcast eventually, because
I will get it to him and
make sure Mitch gets it, because I want to give him a little jab.
You got it. I will
Okay.
send that to him. I'll send that to him. All right, okay. Pat, thanks so much. And I got a couple other little topics I'm going to chat about. So we'll see you soon, and appreciate it.
Okay, John.
All right, sounds great. That's Pat Murphy, great friend, very involved in the local golf scene of Northern California, and really cool to help share that story about his hole in one. And with the West Coast swing just leaving, heading back to Florida for this time of year, I just had a couple of old stories that I thought I'd relate that were kind of fun over the years, that these watching these tournaments on TV lately have kind of brought to mind. My sponsor when I played the PGA Tour was a guy named Johnny Swanson, and he was very close friends with Jack Nicklaus, Tom Weiskopf. He'd play in the AT&T with Weiskopf, and I made the cut at San Diego. He arranges for me to have a practice session and lunch with Jack Nicklaus and Tom Weiskopf at Riviera, and what a big thrill that was. And kind of a funny part of that day, I remember out on the practice putting green, there was a company with a new putter. I don't even remember the name of it, but my putting was always a little bit kind of here and there. And so my sponsor started talking to the club rep for this putter company, and so he kind of fits me with the right length, and there was nothing real spectacular about the putter. It's not paying or one of those that we still know today. And so I end up with a putter, and I think my sponsor even had to buy it for like $40 or something. 20 years later, I'm going through a magazine and I see an ad for a putter, and I said, God, that looks an awful lot like that putter at the LA Open I got. I start reading down, and they have my name in the ad for an endorsement. So 20 years later, I don't get paid for the endorsement, and I even had to pay for the putter. So that's a pretty funny one. And the other great memory I had was from the LA Open, and I've told this story when we still did our Hooked on Golf radio program. But I got in 1975, I believe it was, as an alternate to the LA Open, and I was paired the first round with Hale Irwin and Bob Wynn. Bob Wynn was a local guy from Northern California, was the golf pro at Diablo Country Club for many years. I knew him a little bit, but I come walking up to the first green, and there's an old timer there. We were off pretty early, and he's got kind of a hoodie sweatshirt on, and he's looking down with the little reading glasses, and he's got the program, and he kind of looks over at Hale Irwin, and he looks at Bob Wynn, and then he looks at me, and he looks back at me again. And on that hole, you have to kind of walk near the ropes to get up to the green. And he finally goes, hey, you're not Lee Elder. And yeah, you're right. I got in as an alternate, and I told him the story. And then during the check-in period, the wives would check in separately, and my wife Rose was checking in for her credentials to go do some things that they would do to entertain the wives while we were out playing golf. And they kept trying to give her Rose Elder's credentials because they both have the same first name, Rose Elder, Rose Abendroth. So kind of a funny story there. And the other last thought was what an era that was, and I was so fortunate to play in that sort of golden era. And I think I played in just about every one of these events or entered them. The Glenn Campbell, the Jackie Gleason, the Bob Hope, the Bing Crosby, the Andy Williams, and the Sammy Davis, and the Danny Thomas. And there was about 7 or 8 of those events over the years, and over my couple of years on the tour, I think I ended up playing or entering in each one of those events, and all the celebrities that they would have, and they really took a great following from Bing Crosby on how he did it, and they would all do the tournaments and bring their friends in. So really cool stuff there. And one last story on the LA Open, for those of you golf geeks like me who follow all the stories over the years. One of my great friends on tour was a guy named Rex Caldwell, and he ended up playing for a number of years, then played the senior tour a little bit. Just to show you how different it was back in those days, he would Monday qualify often, and he would then caddy in the Wednesday Pro-Am because he was short on money. And then he teed up Thursday in the tournament. And I think he actually met a sponsor that ended up helping him financially over the years. So, when you hear Peter Jacobson talk about how important Wednesdays are and the pro-ams, Rex Caldwell could write the book on that. He qualified on Monday, probably carrying his own bag because he didn't want to pay a caddy, and then he'd tee it up as a caddy on Wednesday, and then back on the golf course to play as the professional in the event on Thursday. So pretty cool story and nice memories of some of the West Coast swing type activities. So thanks to Pat Murphy for checking in and telling us his great hole-in-one story. My goodness, 61 years plus playing golf, doesn't make a hole-in-one, and then all of a sudden he makes two in a 14-day stretch. Really cool stuff. Thanks to our friends at Original Joe's Westlake and Baggy's Liquor in Burlingame. And if you missed any of these other Zoomcasts I've done, you can go to YouTube and look up my channel there, John Abendroth, and you can find some other fun interviews that I've done. So thanks so much, and see you down the road.